Good morning. I'm Eli Juicy Jones. Single coils, no leaking. That's the claim from this Kaees Solomon 2 tank. So check this out. It's Vape AM, Wednesday morning. Hope you guys are having a great morning. Come right back at me. It's Vape AM. We got the Kaees Solomon 2, and it's got a single coil and a cool new deck, and it's never supposed to leak. Let's check it out. Well, that's it. I want to thank Heaven Gifts for sending this thing for me to look at. We're going to open it up and look at it today. I have only put this thing in the ultrasonic so far, so it's going to be a fresh look for you and me. I am Eli Juicy Jones. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters High. I and orbit over to Seattle, Washington right now. And we are here bringing you a good look at vaping. I hope that we all get old before we die. I hope nobody dies of cancer. We're trying to get a scientific, fact-based look at what vaping is and have a community. So hello everyone who tuned in. Weird Will, David Harms, Dude Meng, Michaela, Ed, Vaping Vixens. Hey, great to see you. Everybody else, I see discussion on there about GMAT, about pretty excited about this deck. Single coils. David says single coils are his thing, and that is pretty cool. We are going to be at West Coast Vape Expo on July 7th and 8th and 9th. And join us. Come there. It's here in Seattle, Washington. It's just a little short ferry ride right across the water. Meet me here. We'll all go together. It's going to be a great 2 days here in July. Check it out. Let's look at this thing. Let me get my camera controls up so that we can have a little focus party. And we'll do that together. Turn off auto. Yeah. And we'll take a little look at this thing. I am pretty excited. This is a single coil, and it's got a design that's going to look really familiar to those of you who have seen the OBS engine. It's pretty cool. Before we go too much further, let me just say hello and good morning. Everybody tell me what you're vaping on. Even if you're watching on the replay, tell me what you're vaping on. Just chime in, chat like you're here live with us. I'm vaping on the Mace tank. And this thing is actually interesting. It's a tank a little bit like a Revo inside. And it is, I'm going to do a review of this soon. They're sending me some more coils. On my Blade 2100, gets the most amazing battery life ever. I've got 60 puffs on this, and it's barely even registering that it's been used today. And I got a cup of tea. Lots of caffeine. Caffeine is key. Looks like Dude Ming's vape meal just got here. And GMAT's got a Solomon 1 on the eVic Primo. That's really cool. That is extra cool. I'm interested. So there's some scratch and sniff stuff going on here. I'm sorry I keep banging on the microphone. I think I'll move it up a little. This one is in stainless steel. It comes in stainless steel and black. It's got the RTA, an 810, a little screwdriver, spare tube that converts it from 3.5 mil to 5 mil with a bubble glass. A Clapton coil comes with it. We're going to use Jason coil and tin coils today. Our good baby. I mean, our good buddy. Baby. Not what I meant at all. And there is the actual package, which is looking pretty good. It comes with, like I said, the spare glass, which takes it to 5 mil from 3.5. And it's got a spare 810. And another spare 810, one with a slightly more restricted thing. This thing is pretty nice looking. I do have one small complaint about it. I have one little tiny complaint out of it right out of the box. I'm sorry about that. We had a little problem there, and the OBS client crashed just for 1 second, but I reloaded it and it's fine. I have one little complaint about this thing, and that is that when I was unscrewing it, it cut my thumb. Several days ago, this did this to my thumb, which is a real gash. It bled and everything, and there's a scab. So this thing is a little bit gnarly when it comes to having sharp corners. It's got real sharp edges right here, super sharp. I don't know why they made them so blasted sharp, but they're like, hey, Mark Jones. There's the 810 drip tip that's in the top here. You guys should have the feedback, by the way, by now. Tell me if you don't. And Travis Langley says we're back. The way this works is it has a raised 510 right here, or a raised 810. And you'll see why I'm having trouble getting it out here. There we go. See, you have to pop it off. And the 810 has kind of an indentation that covers the top of this thing. And the other ones, which come from here, pop inside there. So I heard what Jeremy Fuchs just said. He just said that we need a better drip tip. And I think he's right. This is the one he just sent me yesterday. You guys look at this drip tip that Jeremy Fuchs sent me. Isn't that awesome? The purple acrylic is so cool. It's got like little purple highlights up here in the tip, so it's purple and white. It's so cool. He made this himself. Custom 810. So we are going to be using his along with that. The bottom of that's a little bit long, so I'm going to sand off the bottom. And that'll be perfect. That's cool. So this has an O-ring on the inside, which is the fashion right now. Absolutely love it. And then what we have here is an OBS style top. This is just like the engine. There's our top fill, and this is easy. But this right here, this part with the airflow, the ring comes off. These are a little bit tough to get back on right out of the ultrasonic when it's dry. Just saying, so you know. You can see there's a little bit of a shred right there where it's gotten pinched. It has top airflow, so the air actually comes in here. And we're going to take this apart. And I'll show you that the air comes down inside that airflow right there into this and then comes out onto the coil. And this is a cool thing, but you see the minuscule amount of threading that they put on here? I've opened and closed this thing a couple of times. And there is just the smallest possible amount of threading in this. And when you stick it in here, it's a little bit tough to make sure that you get it right. Because you have to take this flat part and slide it into the top right there so that it's actually catching. And then you screw it down onto the top here. And you see how we're not quite in there? So I got to look and go, oh, we're out. So you have to go in and then it goes straight in. So it's a little bit weird, but it works pretty well. You just have to sort of get the feeling of it. So see, it's pretty secure. Now I'm pulling it apart. That is the wacky deck. I love the absolutely completely low profile. They made it just low enough so you can snip the coils in there. This is the glass. 3.5 milliliter straight glass, and then the bubble glass is over there, and there's the inside. The inside has an indentation up there, and then there's a construct with a hollowed out section right here for the air to come in, and thus it does right there. It actually comes in through the side there and then down. So, and that's all one piece. I can't get this part anymore, and perhaps you could. Now let's take the vape nut stand. Well, let's look at the rest of the box. I realize I haven't looked at the rest of the kit. The kit includes the stuff you need. A nice fused alien Clapton, a bunch of O-rings, a 510 adapter, which is great, and a screwdriver. Fantastico. All right, so let's close that. Let's grab the vape nut stand. Get this on there. Then I'll move the camera so that it were way closer. And what we have here are two grub screws at different heights. And that's going to appeal to me. I'm going to grab a tool just to loosen those grubs. Allen key. That's 2 millimeters. That's too big. This is 1.5, and it's too big. I use the small one. This one is 1.2 millimeters. That works fine. So I just pop that out, unscrew both of them. If you guys don't know Vape Nut, check these out. It's VAPENUTT with underscores before and after. And the deck is just a easy single coil deck with side airflow from there. Should be pretty easy. In fact, I was going to put Jason, I want to put Jason coil and tin coils in here. These are pre-bent for horizontal RDA, but I'll just give them a little bit of a twist. They'll go in. Well, you guys don't know Jason coil and tin, just search for Jason coil and tin on Instagram. They're really great. So I'm putting these in there. Just dry fitting them right now. Trying to figure out what direction I'm going to go. I go in through one side, up and down. This is a gold-plated deck for conductivity, they say. That's their plan. Okay, you can see I've got the coils in there. And I'm just getting them to be roughly centered. I'm going to tighten that down. And then I'm going to stretch on them a little bit. When you tighten them down, when you're using either regular round wire core or flats or Claptons or whatever, you have to make sure on these that they don't slip out the sides. Which we just did that by putting our finger on it while we did it. Now I'm just bending this a little bit and looking at it to make sure that we're next to the airflow holes that come in through the side here and down close to the wicking. So it looks to me like we're doing pretty good. I'm going to pull this through here a little bit just to reduce some of that top lead length. To do that, it's actually pretty simple. It's under my cup of coffee. I'm going to grab the pliers and just pull this while I'm pulling up on that. And you'll see that all it's doing is it's shortening that lead. And I'm going to pull it through a little bit more. It'll still have a little bit of a hump in it. I'm not being as anal as I could here. I just want to show you guys. It's pretty easy to adjust these things. Hey, Esteban Maria, that's our buddy Praetorian from Discord. All right. We're looking good. I'm going to lower them. You see I took that lump out. Now they're just coiled in there. I'm going to move them a little bit towards the center. This is a fairly narrow deck inside here. That's about where I want it. I want it to be a little bit lower, actually. Yeah, the air is going to come in right through the side here, and the juice is going to come in right through to the bottom, up to the two ends of the coils. For those of you who just tuned in, I'm Eli Juicy Jones. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters, and you're watching Vape AM, the only morning vape show in the entire universe. Wednesdays and Saturdays, we're here. Today, we're looking at the Kaees Solomon 2. Having a cup of coffee. I'm drinking tea with lots of caffeine. And we're just opening this thing up and putting a build on it. Thanks to Heaven Gifts for sending this thing. If you're watching during the replay, say hi, chime in, join us at live 8 Mondays or Wednesdays and Saturdays. And if you're watching on the replay, or if you're watching live, then thank you for watching us. You are great. It is you, the viewer, who makes this channel happen. And so I appreciate it. Oops, I have a hair. We're going to put some Texas Tough Cotton on here. In just 1 second. I'm putting the flush cutters up there, and I'm making sure that we're cut flush. Make sure that you cut your wire as flush to the post as you can, because you do not want wires touching anything else, like the outside of the barrel or anything like that when they go in, because it'll cause a short. So we're using Texas Tough Quick Wicks, Juicy Wicks. You guys know this is my favorite. This stuff comes pre-stranded, and it's so nice. And since it's a single coil, we're only going to use a part of this. Maybe that much of it. A little bit more. Comes in these nice wads. That's actually not quite enough. Grab a little bit more. Roll it around a little bit here. Then poke it through there. It's a single coil, so this should be pretty darn easy. And I feel like I didn't get enough thickness inside the inner diameter of that. So I'm just going back here and I'm adding more. Just a little. Always making sure to keep everything stranded and oriented in one long direction. Just a matter of tweaking this to get this where I want it. I just want to match the interior diameter, inside diameter of the coil that I'm putting this on here. That's what you guys want to do. Just match them. Like this is a little bit better. So here, as you can see, I'm pulling it through. And I'm going to take my scissors and cut one side of it flush. And then I'll take my tool and poke one down into the holes down there. And I believe grab a different this. I grab something a little bit pointier. We'll pull this back up a little bit, and then I'll get in here, and I'm going to use the end of this, poke the end of this into the hole. I'm going to poke it in just a lot, like poke, 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 poke. So it's all in there. It's got to be perfectly straight. So at this point, I pull a little bit of this out from the other side. So I have plenty of length here. We're going to trim these in just a second. So I have plenty of shoulder length here. We're going to trim this on the bottom right below there with this little embroidery scissors in a second. So we're looking pretty good here. We're trying to plug this hole so that e-juice doesn't leak everywhere. And that it simply, although I don't see how this could leak, it would have to go in through here and then up. So there's a chance it could leak if you were doing things upside down for extended periods of time. Okay, so there is too much. And then again here, you just cut too much out. And then we poke it through. And we're going to cut it with our sharp scissors. But make sure that you get it all through and that it's not twisted or disoriented or anything like that. That's one reason I'm using the smooth tool. It lets me poke and it comes straight back out. It doesn't bring a lot of stuff back with it. Okay, dental tools are fun. So this has a gold-plated deck. It's 24 millimeters outside. An RTA single only. They claim it to be leak-proof, which we are going to find out here in a moment. Can you see what I'm doing here? Now I'm taking my flat dental tool. I'm going to make sure that I've got behind this cotton. I don't need it to come out. I just need to make sure that I get behind it because I have to cut it. So you see how the cotton's coming out now? What we don't want is unevenly lengths inside there. Okay, so we're good. Because we're going to cut that right at the base, both of those. I'm taking the Ginger scissors, going in, snip. Don't cut your O-rings. Snip, snip, snip. There you go. You guys see the cotton inside there, I hope. There's a little tuft of cotton left inside there, which I'm just trimming part of it out. Basically flush right to the bottom of the deck there is what I want. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Hope you guys can see. I'm just sticking them in there and cutting flat. And I'm not trying to be too harsh about it. I'm just trying to make sure everything gets cut a little bit. Getting a haircut down there. All the extra length is going away. And watch this. Blow a little bit out of there. Let me take my tool and see how much cotton I have left. Yeah, see, it's a tuft under that side. And it's a tuft under that side. And that's good. I'm going to pull this, through just a little tiny bit. Just so I have a little bit more on that side. But there, we've achieved it. That's good. What do you guys think? Is it beautiful? I need to take an Instagram picture because it's pretty. Put the Kaees Solomon box here. All together. It's fun. It's got a weird deck. That's what's great about it. Okay. It's fun to take pictures. All right, now let's take some Van Gogh vapes, please. And I'm going to take churros. Churros from International Bakery. No, actually, I'm going to take the mango strawberry. I mean, the mango swirls. I just discovered, you guys know that I just did these the other day. And there is a video for these. But these mango swirls are amazing. And I just sort of rediscovered these the other day. They're actually much better than I thought. They're really good. They were my least favorite of the 4 of the new Candy Lane. And, oh, you know what we didn't do? Again, we played bingo. We didn't fire it. But I don't care too much, to be honest. We're going to take a look at it. See what happens. Put it on the Avenger. Get a reading. We're at 0.1. No leaking. No leaking, they say. We shall see, sir. Treat this basically like a clearomizer coil. Wow, look at that thing just chuck clouds. Nice job, Jason. Nice job, sir. All right, let's put her back together. Yep. Okay, so I'm putting the actual glass back on, and then we take the back here and line it up with that, and these have to line up. So you basically just feel for that, and then you screw on. That's all. That's how it works. You don't try to feel for the threads. You feel for that little part. And if it works, then that's the part that works. And it didn't work. So getting this thing back together is a little bit tricky. And that is the trick. Is take this. When you have trouble. This is how I got cut with this before. There we go. Grab this guy. Look at it. Line them up there. And that's where they line up. And still, it's tricky. So that's definitely one of those things with this. This happened. I was talking to a friend about this as well. And this atomizer is just one of those ones where it's like, it goes together like perfectly 1 second. One of the tricks is you must have, these O-rings on the top are really big. And so getting them to seat is really tough. You see I'm struggling to get that to stay up on top. And here I'll rub some e-liquid on them. The O-rings on top don't fit very well. So it's tough to get the actual tank glass to sit over the O-ring. And here's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take a pair of pliers on the top. and push and turn this glass to try to get the O-rings, a little eyelash, try to get the O-rings to bite. But they don't seem to want to, do they? So there's one place where this guy can be a total pain. I did this the other day and I had a conversation with someone where I was like, oh, it was easy, it was no problem. And then I was like, oh my God, I had a serious problem. Because one time it was good and the next time it wasn't so good. And it's the O-rings on top. It causes the glass to misalign. And it's maddening. I think I may have gotten it in this time. Yeah, so this time it went in effortlessly. You see what I mean? Like sometimes it's great, sometimes it's absolutely a nightmare. All right, more mango. This has a top fill. I've got the 3.5 milliliter glass on it. I'm putting just enough e-liquid in there so that we can get a little bit of action going and not have to overfill it. Mango, how are you? It's pretty good. So don't forget to put on your airflow adjustment ring. And we're seeing here that it goes on one way and not the other way, and then throw your top on. Now I recommend giving this thing a good wipe down. And I also recommend immediately putting a better O-ring on it, or a better drip tip on it. We're going to go with the airflow all the way open at first, because that's how we always do it. I'm going to take my cool drip tip that I got from Jeremy Fuchs. Fuchs Jeremy, baby. Put that guy in there, and then we're going to put it back on the Avenger. It should be about 0.1. It's an attractive looking tank. No doubt. Wipe this off just a tiny bit. Drip tip is huge on there. And it looks pretty good. Let's pull this camera back up. Yep. Not bad. You hear that? 40 watts, 0.09. Let's get some vape. Hey, Green Chronic. Hey, Dude Mang. Hey, Leighton's Life. Hey, Daedalus Kazan. Everybody, this is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. I'm Eli Juicy Jones. You're watching Vape AM, the only vape morning show in the universe I know of. Anyway, Wednesdays and Saturdays. We're here every week, twice a week, and we wake up. Today we're doing the Kaees Solomon. Sent to me via Heaven Gifts, and I just put a build on there from Jason Coil and Tin, which is really great. It's a single coil. It's got no leaking, it says, ever. That's 40 watts with the air turned all the way down. There's 40 watts with the air turned up. It's pretty good. The flavor is good. I taste the mango. Taste the mango. I'm going to try to crank it up. Hello, iJoy. Power high. Power high. Power high. Power high. We'll do it that way. Way too high. Way too high. So 110 was too much for this 0.09 single coil. We'll go to 80. The airflow is good. The airflow is very good. Some of the audience asked. It's very open. Slightly restricted. This is not full open air, but it is more open than, say, the Kaeser, or the Kaiser rather, or the Kaees. And someone's asking about the way the airflow works, and yeah, the air actually goes in both sides and is channeled inside down to the single coil. So this does not have that weird sensation when you're vaping a single coil with one side airflow where it's asymmetrical and it sounds funny. It doesn't have that problem. The air goes in both sides. Dayless Kazan said, hello, I Joy. Way too damn high. Hey, Angelo. Great to see you. It's really nice to see you this morning. If you guys just tuned in, it's Eli Juicy Jones. This is the Kaees Solomon tank this morning on Vape AM. And we opened it, put a build on it. The build was from our friend Jason Coyle and 10. This is the deck where we were at. There is the actual device sitting on top of the Avenger with a custom drip tip by Fuchs Jeremy. An attractive looking device, I'm not going to lie. The idea of no leaking ever. It has an OBS style top, and the OBS style top is good. I think that obviously one of the things they should improve on this immediately is just the machining and general fit and finish. If they smoothed a few of the edges on this thing and didn't increase the size any, they got the size perfect, but just smooth the edges on top and bottom and the ones that touch, and then almost it. It really doesn't need too much. I like the O-ring on the top of with the drip tip. That's 80 big ones at half air right there. I can tell that's starting to get dry the way I wicked it. That's good. Turn the air down. That's half air. So this thing is working. It's working well. Let's open it up and take a look at it, shall we? And Dude Meg is asking if the OBS engine didn't have a pull-up thing. Yeah, the engine had a pull-up thing to cover this instead of this ring. And this ring is actually a better, simpler solution. The engine, though, never leaked because that pull-up thing sealed stuff inside and was also for the fill. So, yeah, and that pull-up thing actually covered up the airflow when you pulled it up. So it wasn't exactly the same. I'm trying to see if I have an engine. Favorite RTAs, where is it? It is in use somewhere, and I don't have it on my retirement stack. I have it out here in the usage somewhere. Thanks, good question. So if you've been watching, we went over the the Kaees Solomon 2. I can't talk today. We went over the Kaees Solomon 2 from Heaven Gist. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters. We're going to go into the Hangout section of the show. So if you're watching on the replay, thanks for watching. Tune in on Saturday for a giveaway for Texas Tough Cotton and an announcement for the winner of last week's giveaway. I love all you guys. Thanks. Stick around if you're watching live because we're going to keep vaping on this, and make sure you tune into Instagram and into Twitter, Juicy Jones HQ and Juicy Jones, so that you can see updates on this thing as we go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Thank you. Hey, this is the live hangout section of the show. How are you guys? New comment. It's more like the Zeus, except the Zeus doesn't have a screw down top. Yeah, that's true. What else do you guys think this thing looks like? There aren't that many people who have copied OBS correctly. And OBS did come up with a great leak-proof design. I wish I could find my actual OBS engine. But obviously I like it somewhere. It's to leak-proof design. Prius 2 is a little bit on my... Not find the engine. What did I do with his engine? I wonder. Hey, Luther Gaming. Hey, Boris. How are you guys? T-Matt doesn't like the fact that the AFC ring is gold on there. Yeah, I like it okay. I like it slightly better than... I don't know if I'd like it if it were stainless. I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe black, maybe blue, different colors. It works pretty well with the e-liquid I've got in there. It looks nice. Kind of as a pair. You guys are chilling at McDonald's. Good morning to you. Or evening. Probably evening. Oh, Daedalus Kazan found a new source for his e-liquid that's going to save him a bunch of money. That is killer. That is super killer. Okay, let's take this out. We vaped on it for a minute. Let's open it up. Take a look. This one is not an easy one to open and close because of what I showed you guys earlier. So we're going to see if it goes together very easily. I'm going to take this thing and we're going to unwick it. And I'm going to test fire it. It's something I did not do during the show. And let's see. Put that on the Avenger. Yeah, dude, man, Texas Tough is amazing. Absolutely love that stuff so much. Okay. So let's put this on 40 watts. Get our tool. They look beautiful. Got a couple of hot spots in there. There we go. Mas bueno. Those are much better. Okay, don't forget to test fire your coils like I do. Don't be me. It's 11:45 in Ontario, Canada. That is nice. There's our Casaa. There's our focus. Oh no, don't knock that over because it will all leak out. See, this is the problem with this thing, is that if we do this, it's all leaking out. So that's so hard to avoid with this. This is not an easy one to open up and modify, as you guys can see. A mental note, get it right the first time. All right, so here is some cotton. Cotton's going back in the bag. Gonna get a big fat chunk out. About half that, maybe just a little bit more than half that. Pull her through. Gonna try to muscle it through. Not working, so we're gonna restart. Sometimes you can just pull it through, then cut it past the knot, but not in this case. Here on Juicy Jones HQ, we have real world wicking. This is good. Now, we're going to give it a cut here just to have an end. Then I'm going to take my round tool and poke that down inside there. Till it's all through. All of it. And then we'll take the flat tool in a second and fix it. This is stuff tech right now. I'll take the flat one. Just make sure it's out. Taking my tweezers and pulling on it just a tiny bit. Pulling on the flat tool to make sure it's all right there. Okay, so I'll be able to cut that in just 1 second. Then over here, we'll do the same thing. Give that a trim. We're going to cut it long. Making sure to cut it long. Throwing away as few scraps off the table. I'm anal that way. And then we'll take the round tool and stick it in there, and we're going to cut it. Got it. I'll cut you. Oopsie. Wish I had slightly shorter dental tools. That would be cool. These are too wieldy. David Harm says, some people say to wick to the bottom, and nope, don't need to do that. Because remember that it's easy to remember how much wicking to use, because wicking is there only for one purpose, and that is to stop the juice from flooding the tank where the vaporization is happening. So the fact that, the fact that we cut it right below that, it's because the juice will just flood up in there and do its thing. And the cotton is the slowest part of this process. You want to have as little cotton as possible. The machine itself should take care of moving the e-liquid around on the inside. If you require cotton to do that last leg, it's really a flaw in the design. As you guys can see, what I'm doing is I'm putting the Ginger scissors behind the cotton and just cutting flush with the bottom. That's all I'm doing, just cutting around. Then now, we made it all the way through. Take my fingers and my stuff and get some of the extra junk out of there. And I'm not saying none, because obviously you can see I left cotton in there. There's cotton coming out. And in fact, it's touching the bottom. So if you aim to cut it, you're going to have some extra anyway. Okay, so there we go. So don't sweat it too much. As you can see, we have bulbs. And slight pieces here and there. Okay, so now it's going to be a real trick to get this to go together, let me tell you. A trick I was able to perform. I will take it off of here. Wow, that went in there. You see what I mean about sometimes it goes right in, other times it's... This is a strange beast. And Dude Ming points out that the tips of the cotton also do better at reaching down and grabbing the e-liquid. Thank you so much. That's exactly right. You can focus on getting the inside diameter of your e-liquid correct, because that's really the way to go. Okay, so there we go. I suspect there's going to be a little bit of leakage on this because of the way I did that. Because I took it apart and stuff all fell into all the pieces, so, and I did not clean it up. All right, let's see. Now, what are we on? 40 watts? Ooh, much better. 60. And we're out chasing it at 60 watts here. Like we're running out of e-liquid. David Harms, now I may be wrong here, because some of these are different. So what I've done is, I'm doing an experiment, and if I have to, I'll wick this with a lot more cotton. We'll see. Let me ask you how yours is doing. If you haven't been having trouble, then that means that it's fine. Tell me what kind of build you have, David. Please. Dude Ming is saying it's kind of whistling. Hey, Monica Monkey. Oh, I'm sorry, Mechanical Monkey 84. Great to see you. Monica. I don't know how I read that. Yeah, we got more e-liquid going in there. Open up the air. Oh, I had the air closed. Ooh, yum. And that's good. I see an air bubble. Air bubbles are good. Hey, James Rivera. Great to see you. We're building on the Kaees Solomon too, y'all. For those of you who just tuned in. The desk is a mess. We built it twice. Put everything into it. Wicked it, re-wicked it. We're just talking about it. It has a wacky kind of deck. It has like a single coil deck with a side thing with air that goes in the side. David's vaping on his Serpent SMM. Spaced is a very smart idea. You definitely have the right idea there. He's got a Serpent SMM, a spaced stainless steel 316, temperature control around 4 or 5. If wicking hadn't been a problem, then you're doing okay. If it's, you know, it's one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, my methods work sometimes better than others, and sometimes tolerances are such that it's not important to make sure that you stick to every single perfect technical thing. I'm not that guy that says everything has to happen one way, but I am the guy that's always correcting everybody that there's more than one way to do everything. You guys are the best. This is pretty good so far. I'm going to keep vaping on this. Good. There, it's kind of muted flavor for a single. Close the air a little. Yeah, a little bit muted because this is like the craziest of their juices. Airflow's smooth. I can't wait to test the no leaking. Dude Mang is asking what the resistance and wattage is. This thing came out to 0.09. Nope, it came out to, well, it changed a lot. It went from 0.1 to 0.22. That's about where it should be, 0.22. And 3.6 volts. 60 watts is what I'm vaping on, and I've got the airflow at about half. You can do a one thumb airflow, which is a little bit easy to adjust. Maybe it'd be better if it were harder to adjust. The airflow is more open than half, actually, most of the time. So it is working. There's air bubbles. Air bubbles are what I want to see. You know when you see those that your wicking is working. Oh, great tip. James Rivera says Wizard Lab's having a flash sale today on Flavora and some Nick. Flash 15 is the code. Use that, guys. That's a good one. Good deal. Okay, well, it's 8:55. I love all you guys. I got to take off because it's been almost an hour. So all of you are great. Thanks so much for tuning in. Join us on Discord. There's a Discord link down there. And you guys know what to do. Have a great day. See me on Saturday. Make sure that you look at last week's video and enter to win the Texas Tough giveaway that's on there. And I'll see you Saturday for the next giveaway. And I hope all of y'all have a great day. Thank you.